Hello and welcome. We're doing F sharp minor melodic scale today. F sharp minor is the relative minor to the A major scale. They both have three sharps, F, C and G sharp. Yeah, as always, quick reminder, melodic minors have a high sixth and seventh note, which means in this case D and E become D sharp and E sharp. Now E sharp, E F is usually a semitone. E sharp, so a high E, it's going to sound like F, but it isn't F, it is E sharp. Yeah, most notes have several different possible names. Yeah, C sharp and D flat, they sound the same, but they're different notes. So E sharp isn't F, be aware of that. Now, there is some unique opportunity here to teach you two different ways of doing the same thing. So I'm going to start all the way from the lowest C sharp. Yeah, there is no C in this scale, so our first note is C sharp, low first finger on the C. Yeah, now I just said there's D and E sharp coming next, so C sharp to D sharp is a tone. Usually a D on the C string would be a first finger, but because my first finger is already busy, I'm going to use this time a second finger and see what happens. So now I have a low second finger on the D sharp. Now next is E sharp. Again, my second finger is busy, so I'm going to use my third. So now I have E sharp, let's tone away again, followed by F sharp, E sharp, F sharp is a semitone, yeah? E, F is a semitone, so if you make both of them sharp, it remains a semitone. And after F sharp comes G sharp, which is a low first finger on the G string. Yeah, usually it would be a fourth finger, but my fourth finger was already busy. And the next note is A natural, that's a semitone up. I'm going to use this opportunity to make a semitone shift to first position. I'll explain to you later why. Yeah? And this is where I'm going to stop introducing new notes for now. So this is one way to play the first few notes. It's called half position. Your hand stays in a low first position. First finger stays stuck to the end of the string. The reason I go up to the A with the first finger instead of also using a low second finger there is because eventually you're going to get into trouble. We've just had a low first finger on the C and the G string. On the next two strings we will not need a low first finger anymore, so there's no reason to stay in half position. Yeah, and so that's why I decided to come up there. Alternatively, you can do that 1-1 shift on the C string already. So instead of staying in half position, going C sharp and second finger on the D sharp, I'm going to do C sharp first finger, bring my entire hand a tone closer, and now we have our D sharp here. Now we continue as if nothing happened. Second finger is E sharp, then F sharp, semitone, G sharp, and now we pull first finger back for a normal first finger. So remember, here it was a high first finger, now we have to go to a normal first finger for that A. And now we're, whichever option you choose, now we're both in the same place. Yeah, so that's why I wanted to introduce this. You have the choice to either stay in half position, low first finger, and stick to that until after that G sharp and then shift to normal first position, or you shift immediately to a high first finger on the C string already, so from C sharp to D sharp, and then the relationship between what you see on the page and what you think, the choice of fingers that you're using makes a little bit more sense. So even though it's a little bit harder for the left hand, it's easier to relate it to the sheet music. Yeah, so there is a pro and a con for either option. Anyway, when we do this scale, I'm going to go for a high first position. I'm going to start my F sharp with the third finger, because it looks easier. Yeah, you can also practice it with a low fourth finger and do your shift on the G string as I just explained. The choice is completely yours. Yeah, so our first note, F sharp, high third finger on the C string. Now C sharp to G sharp, F sharp to G sharp is a tone. Then we have to pull that first finger back for that A natural. Now we're going to get a bunch of tones one after another. So after A natural comes B, C sharp, D sharp. So we have a full spread between all the fingers. There's no semitones whatsoever within the hand. And now something interesting happens. We need that E sharp, right? So if I place my first finger directly onto the next string, it's going to be on the E. So we have to bring the first finger to high first finger, which is basically second position. Yeah, that is your E sharp. So it's where usually your second finger would be, your low second finger. Now we have a high first. So, yeah, then we get to F sharp. That's the end of our first octave. Now as always we keep going on. So after F sharp comes G sharp, A, which is the same as the open A, B, C sharp. And now if the scale would continue up and up and up, you would, after the C sharp, you would have a D sharp, E sharp, and then we run out of notes because my last note would be a semitone higher, yeah, that F sharp. But we've run out of notes by now, we've run out of fingers, and yes, the extension is a possibility, and we will study this later. But because we're immediately going to turn back, we're going to do B natural, C sharp, and we're turning back on the third finger this time on the D. So we're not going to use the D sharp because the D sharp is only used when it's leading towards that F sharp, the tonica, the first note of a scale. Yeah, because we're not going to be able to do that because we are running out of fingers and we don't want to do too many new things in one exercise. And anyway, Charlotte de Berriot chose to turn back here, and it makes complete musical sense not to push for that extension for the time being. There's lots of new things already. We've just seen low first position, half position. We then go to high first position, which is same almost as second position. When you have that E sharp, as officially you're in first position because there's an E and it's a first finger you use on the D string, right? But the position is the same as F natural. So where does first position end and where does second position begin? Essentially, it all overlaps. So there's 3 different first finger positions in this scale. It's a very interesting scale to practice a lot because that kind of flexibility to be able to move your hand up and down all the time is very useful. Yeah, it can later on, sometimes you can get away with just doing an extension rather than shifts, and this kind of practice will really help you understand that. Yeah, anyway, yeah, we were on that D. You go just down the scale, and this time your D and E sharp are gone. So C sharp, B, we prepare for the A, open A string or fourth finger, G sharp, F sharp, E natural, that high first finger is gone on the way down, remember? Now we have the choice between the 2 Ds, either there or there. Yeah, C sharp, B, A, and then G sharp, so extension, very high fourth, and the last note is then your F sharp, of course. Yeah, so that is the finger pattern. It's all over the place. There are so many new things in this scale, so please take your time, analyze it all, and memorize it all, because it's so useful to get this flexibility, to have your first finger hop around in different places. It creates more opportunities. Yeah, you can reach forward, you can reach backwards. You don't need to be able to shift all the time. Extensions are very useful. Yeah. Anyway, let's continue. We're going to do it with metronome. We're at 40. And actually, before we do it with metronome, one more little thing is the bowing. In the A major, we had a 3-beat down bow. 1, 2, 3, 4, with that fast up bow, right? Now here it's similarly, only in reverse. It's going to be a fast down bow with a slow up bow. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So it's the reverse. Now that will mean the down bow is always stronger. And now the down bow is also much faster. You're going to end up with an accent on the down bow. Over time, you will learn to moderate that a bit. It will never completely disappear. If somebody writes something like this, they know you're going to get an accent, at least if they know how to write for a viola, right? So don't worry about it. If there is an accent, just make sure that you stay relaxed. You have a beautiful sound. Your intonation is right. Yeah, the foundations are really important right now. Whether there's an accent or not, experience will help you grade all these things. Nothing for you to worry about right now. We're just going to play the scale very slowly. Okay, we're going to look for our F sharp, so C sharp first. First finger goes to the D sharp, followed by the E sharp, a tone away. And that brings us to our F sharp with third finger for now. Ready? Relax your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4. Prepare 1. Prepare D sharp and E sharp high, first finger next. Semitone to D natural. Prepare for the next string. A. E natural next. Prepare for full spread, high 4. So, I know this scale is all over the place. On top of that, you have that weird bowing to contend with. Take it easy, be patient, and really take your time to properly study this. There's so many interesting things in just a couple of bars here. So it's really worth understanding what you're doing, because later on this will help you. Understanding what you do is the fastest way to progress, really. So take your time, listen, make it beautiful, stay relaxed, and when you control everything, do it with the accompaniment and speed things up over time. Yeah, don't push too fast ahead. Too many interesting things in one short scale. Yeah, good luck, and I'll see you at the next repetition. Bye.